We've got Super Thomas Tuchel. He knows exactly what we need. No signings in the back, no signings in attack. Chelsea gonna flop the Champions League. Hello everyone and welcome back to Chelsea Transfer News, where we talk about all the signings that Chelsea aren't making, but apparently we're in so many reports, and just today there's been so many different news articles and so many different reports saying that we're involved with so many different people right now. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Our first story involves the former Fulham goalkeeper Marcus Bettinelli, and we're looking to sign him, or we're just looking at him right now in order to booster our different goalkeeper options right now, because after we have just seen the leaving of Caballero after the Champions League win, and we still have Kepa, and we only have really Mendy as our top goalkeeper, one that we know we can rely on. I'm not too sure if we can say the same thing for Kepa, but that, leaves a lot of room for new goalkeepers to come into this club and make our position in our goalkeepers just a lot better. Because if we only have two goalkeepers to rely on, and we have Kepa, who a lot of people are still very iffy on, then we're gonna have a lot of problems next season. So we have to try to see if we can rectify this position that we're in. We have to try to see if we can get more goalkeepers. And I know Fulham isn't the best team in the world, but at least we're trying to attempt to sign a goalkeeper, so that's pretty interesting to me. Our next story involves Fernando Torres, the former Chelsea striker, and he apparently has told Sal Niguez, who is involved in many different reports with different clubs, from Barcelona to Chelsea to United to different Premier League clubs. And apparently, Fernando Torres has said to Sal Niguez that he should choose Liverpool over Chelsea. I can't believe the man has just done this to us like that. He's done us dirty. And I know Fernando Torres. I know why Fernando Torres has probably said it, because as we know, he probably had a better spell at Liverpool than he ever did at Chelsea. He was in his top peak, in his prime at Liverpool, and at Chelsea he kind of dwindled a bit. He fizzled out until he eventually left the club in 2013, 2014. He was there for 3 or 4 years, and besides getting a few important goals, like the goal against Barcelona in the 2012 Champions League semi-final, scoring for us in the Europa League final against Benfica in 2013, there's not really much else to say about his career. He kind of basically flopped at Chelsea, to put it lightly. But I'm still sad that one of our former Chelsea players just has come out and said this to another player who, we're looking, we have deep interest in. So it's just kind of it's gonna end up, this may end up just putting Sal Niguez off from joining our club. So I just found that very interesting. I can't believe one of our players would do this to us. I thought once a blue, forever a blue. But we move. Our next story involves Danny Ings from Southampton. Apparently Chelsea are keeping a close eye to him, and the goals of his record last season may well improve why he deserves to be a target for Chelsea. But at the same time, it's Danny flipping Ings, all right? It's Danny Ings. He's not like Harry Kane or Romelu Lukaku or Lewandowski, the people that we've been looking at as of late. Like he's just come out of the blue. Funny pun, but he has just come out of nowhere. This has just come out of nowhere. I know Danny Ings is prolific, and he has scored a lot of goals for Southampton, probably made a few assists as well, but at the same time I thought we were looking to buy a world-class striker, and Danny Ings is not world-class by any means. I know he has the goals and the assists to back himself up, but at the same time he's playing for Southampton, and I thought we were gonna aim higher than that. I'm not trying to diss Danny Ings, but I really thought we were gonna look at someone more, relevant, someone who has a bigger chance of, succeeding, someone who we know has a lot of potential in the future. But anyways, we are looking at Danny Ings, probably only because of his goals and his assists. But I swear, if we were to put him in any other club, then he would probably just end up becoming mediocre. We know his time at Liverpool did not, bear any fruit, and because of that, he was sold off to Southampton, I think, directly. So I'm not too sure how to feel about this. Danny Ings has the goals and the assists to back himself, but at the same time, it's Danny Ings. I really don't. expect him to become like the next Holland or something. I don't really expect him to become the next Lewandowski. So that is just my stance on Danny Ings. But moving on, Eden Hazard has been in the news as of late because it looks like Real Madrid want to end up selling him in this summer transfer window. Real Madrid want to give Eden Hazard after they have bought him for like around 130 million pounds from us back in 2019. And yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure why they're doing this. I know he's had a lot of troubles and a lot of, injuries, a lot of, like, his attitude has really been all over the place. Remember the story when he was apparently playing Mario Kart in the Real Madrid dressing room? And yeah, it's kind of sad to see how much Eden Hazard has kind of morphed like downwards, I guess. How much he's just dwindled in his ability. And the injuries don't help either. He's been out for basically like the last 2 or 3 years in terms of his career. And yeah, it's just sad to see that things aren't really working out for him in Real Madrid, and they possibly won't after this transfer window. So, but I know many people are going to be like speculating whether or not he could make a return back to Stamford Bridge, but at the same time, I feel like it just wouldn't be right because Eden Hazard left Chelsea to pursue something bigger, something else that he needed in his career, and I respect that. So not like I want him to stay at Real Madrid because he did see like that's where he wanted to be, like in the vision of his dream. And yeah, now hopefully things work out for him. But if he does end up being sold in this summer transfer window, then I'm very curious to see where he ends up. Our next story involves Zap Acosta. It looks like Inter Milan, who are pursuing David Zappacosta, will only be able to sign him on a permanent deal and not through a loan. Looks like Chelsea have made that very clear. We want to sell players and get as much money, it looks like, from these, I guess you can say, deadwood. I mean, like, Zappacosta still had like some pretty good games, but I'm guessing many people want to consider him deadwood. Yeah, so it looks like we're looking to sell them. We want to get as much profit as we can from these players, so then we could possibly put them into this summer transfer window. So that is just interesting to see how Chelsea are going to manage to do that through the transfers of David Zappacosta and whoever else may leave the club this summer. Moving on, West Ham want to give away Declan Rice for £100 million. I am so done with Declan Rice being worth so much. When are we actually gonna face the facts and realize that he is not worth £100 million? Haaland is valued at £150 million. Declan Rice is not close to what I would give away for Haaland. It's not even remotely close. It should be 50 million and nothing higher for Declan Rice. It shouldn't even be 50 million. It should be more like 40 million. But I'm saying 50 million because I know West Ham are going to be very stubborn about this. And it does not look like they're going to settle for something low. So 50 million is like the most realistic price that I think Chelsea would want to buy Declan Rice for. But the fact that he's worth at 100 million... yeah, nah, our budget for this season, man, it's high. I know we have a lot of money stored up, and I know we have the budget to buy some, to basically conduct the same madness that we did last season, getting all these new players, getting Werner, getting Ziyech, getting Havertz. But at the same time, Declan Rice for 100 million, nah. And because of Declan Rice's high price, Chelsea are actually considering getting Tchouameni as a possible alternative because he would definitely be a lot cheaper. He is a midfielder for Monaco, and I think if we were to acquire someone who, as I said before, he's a very good midfielder in League One, and yeah, if we were just to acquire someone for so much more cheaper and for someone who we know has ability and has potential, then why not go for it? I don't want to spend 100 million on Declan Rice. Do you want to spend 100 million on Declan Rice? If I were to spend that much on Rice, I wouldn't be able to eat like anything throughout the day. So that is just that would be a poor decision on us if we were to spend that much money on Declan Rice. Not worth that much in my opinion. Even though I like to hype up so many different players that I see perform well. I said the same thing about Chiesa, like he's performing well, but I'm not saying like Chiesa is worth 100 million either. And yeah, I wouldn't feel, I just don't want to pay that much money. I don't want Chelsea to pay that much money for Declan Rice. So yeah, nothing really much to say. And amidst the speculations of Ross Barkley and Ruben Loftus-Cheek leaving Chelsea this summer, there is also news that Ampadu and Malang Sarr might leave Chelsea this summer in order to be loaned out again. So, yeah, it looks like we're just giving away players now. We're not even taking any players, even though they're our own. We just want to give, loan out, sell. I wonder what's the whole process here. What's the whole thinking in the Chelsea board? I'm giving away all these players to maybe possibly rack up a few millions in order to finance our expenditures for the summer transfer window, but at the same time, we need reinforcements. I've been saying it time and time again. We need reinforcements. We need more people because it looks like we're just giving them away. And even our own people, which we have on loan right now, we're just, it just looks like we're just trying to give them away. And yeah, I'm not too sure what the whole process or what's the whole thinking behind this, but it looks like we are just trying to give away as many people as possible, maybe just for the experience that they can get at different clubs. But yeah, at the same time, we have to value the players that we have, not just in the current team, not just in the 23-man squad. We have to take into account everyone who's been involved, everyone who's a Chelsea player, including the loanees. We have to just evaluate them and, make sure that we know what we're doing whenever we're giving people out, because the players all around are valuable. So we have to make sure that we don't lose sight of that. If there is someone that we can put faith in, then we put faith in them. If there's someone who we know we can improve, then loan them out. But it looks like we're just loaning out everybody, so who knows what's happening at Chelsea right now in terms of what they want to do with these players right now. It also looks like Chelsea are looking into acquiring Ben White from Brighton and Niklas Süle from Bayern Munich amid speculations that both Zuma and Rudiger might leave this summer. Zuma is apparently linked to AS Roma, as I mentioned in a previous video, saying that Mourinho wants to acquire Zuma. There is also reports that Antonio Rudiger might not renew his contract after his contract has expired this summer. So just the fact that he hasn't done it now, there's speculations that he might leave this summer. And yeah, those two options in particular, Ben White and Niklas Süle, I don't think Ben White has a chance of coming to Chelsea because there is already news that he has made his mind up and is heading towards North London with our rivals Arsenal. And I wouldn't call them rivals because they're in the dumps, but nevertheless, he is going to Arsenal, and Niklas Süle really remains the only option that we have out of the two. And Niklas Süle is a Bayern Munich player. He has performed well as I read upon him. And yeah, just if we could acquire a center back, that'd also be pretty good. We've already announced our targets for our ambition to get Koundé. And yeah, that's just how we're gonna apparently get new center backs this summer. There is also news that Thomas Tuchel wants more pace, more ability on the right flank, which is why we are looking at Adama Traore as a possible option. And Adama Traore, I have so much to say about this man. Adama Traore is just a beast, to put it lightly. He is just a beast in what he does. He is so good at just defending, being so, we know how big and bulky he is, and we know that no one's ever going to get past him. Maybe a few people have been lucky to do so, but nevertheless, he is just a brick wall. He is so fast when it comes to everyone else in the Premier League. He can honestly just breeze through the whole midfield as he's done before. If you remember his performance against Man City, he literally just runs up through the middle, cuts inside, and then takes a shot at goal and he scores. It's also very remarkable to see how prolific he is when it comes to scoring. But this is also stuff that I'm talking about Adama Traore maybe a season or 2 seasons ago. In the recent season or so, he has pretty much dipped in quality. He hasn't really sparked in anyone's eye. I think he might have actually been injured. I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, everyone says just basically the only relevant thing now is the meme of him just having body oil, or not body oil, baby oil all over him. So then attackers, defenders, whoever it may be, can't latch onto him because he is just so big. So yeah. Apparently we're looking to get Adama Traore, and honestly that is the most probably the most interesting news out of everything today, because Adama Traore is someone that I've always said that we should get. In the last few seasons or so, I always thought he was someone that we could definitely try to aim for, because he is just such a good defender, and he is also very impressive when it comes to attacking. He has some goals under his belt, so I really want to see if he could do a number like that on Chelsea. And for our final story, which is not really a story, but this is just some piece of information that I thought I should just give away. So Fikayo Tomori, we sold him for £25 million. Mark Wehi, we sold him for £18 million. Victor Moses, £4 million, and Olivier Giroud, £900k. So this is accumulated to around £48 million that Chelsea have acquired in this summer transfer window so far, and the fact that we already have 50 million and all the players that we still have left, like Zaba Costa, Emerson, Bakayoko, all those people that we have right now, and there's still so much left to profit in this transfer window. I'm just confused on if we're gonna be able to get maybe around like 100 million in order to finance maybe Haaland, maybe Lukaku, maybe Lewandowski, who knows anymore. But I just want to see if we can get to maybe 100 million just on sales alone, so then we could really try to get whoever we want. Roman Abramovich already has enough money left in the budget in order to make some crazy signings. If we profit maybe 100 million off of the summer transfer window alone, then that could definitely help us in our ambitions. But for some reason, it just feels like everyone that we tried to pursue has all given us the no-go, like, yeah, we don't want to sell this player, as said by a club, or the player has said that he doesn't want to go to us. And it's just really weird being the champions of Europe, yet not really having any pull on these players, not really convincing them, not making us seem like a good option for them in order to pursue their careers. We have basically done that for Havertz, Werner, and Ziyech, so I don't know why they would ever think that. Who knows what's going through these players' head, but hey, that is football. You're not always going to be able to predict what everyone wants, and that is the beauty of it. And with that said, I am done for today. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.